Greetings. In this screen recording, I'm going to talk about how to add workouts to Garmin Connect for your Garmin devices. So this could be your smartwatch or your bike computer, whatever endpoint you're using to monitor your workouts and track them in real time. So in this case, this is workouts for ultra running, and this is a screenshot from the Training Essentials for Ultra Running book. I'll put a link to that book in the description below just in case you're interested in reading it. I think it's pretty cool. So the problem is we need to get these that we're solving today is getting the workouts that are illustrated in the book into Garmin Connect. So I've added a couple of those in there already, and we're going to add 2 more in. So first thing we're going to do is make sure we're logged into Garmin Connect, go to the workouts directory, start a new workout in the run category. For the title, we're going to edit that here, and we're going to call this a steady state run. So the author of this book isn't about heart rates, he's more about level of perceived exhaustion. However, when you're wearing a wearable, a heart rate is a good way to measure that, in my opinion, but you have to know your body, you have to know your heart rate. So I know mine. I know an RPE of 7 is going to correlate with zone 4 for my heart rate. So that's what I'm going to target in this run. First things first, we're going to add a warm-up time. So in this case, it's going to be 15 minutes. So like a little over a mile in heart rate zone 3. So this basically low zone 3 for me is pretty much my forever pace. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 intervals, and this is where we add the repeat step at the start. And you can set the repeat intervals in that box up top. In this case, 2 is enough for me. So we're setting our intensity, and this is going to be zone 4. And for steady state run, it's going to be like low zone 4. So we got that RPE of 7, sorry. And if it was RPE, and that's on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this would be about 16 on a scale of 1 to 20, if you use that scale. And then we'll put our time in here. So this is a 30-minute interval. Click done there. And now we have our float time or our rest time. So we're going to add that in. And in this case, we're going to have 5 minutes of rest between these intervals. And I'm going to put a pretty low heart rate. So this will be the low end of zone 2. Definitely good recovery pace. And then at the bottom, we will add, just kind of checking our work here, we'll add our cooldown sequence in. That's what's happening here. So starting with intensity target for heart rate. And you can see there's lots of variables here. So the idea, work with your coach to figure out what works best for you or the books you're reading or both. So in this case, I'm just creating my own workout based on my interpretation of the workout from the book that isn't designed to integrate with this product. So I'm just creating that translation here. So now we got the workout in, just kind of double checking everything, playing with this duration time so that it can be about an hour and 45 minutes, hour 50 minutes, because that's how much time I can allocate to this type of workout before I have to go to work on like a Monday through Friday schedule. So you can tinker these to, meet your needs. They're very customizable. This is just one example of how to do this. So now we're going to send it to the device, and we should be good to go. You can also add these to your workout calendar, which I'm not going to cover in here, but it's pretty straightforward. Last thing I'm going to do is add one more workout for recovery. So I'm not going to do the endurance workout. I actually have all the other 4 in there because the endurance workout is just my forever pace. That's the 5 to 6 rate of perceived exhaustion, and I don't need my watch to track that for me. I can do that on my own, and I just go out on a run. Recovery, however, that is where, again, I can use heart rate as a metric to make sure I'm staying at that rate of perceived exertion. And sorry if I've been switching exertion with exhaustion around as I've said this, talked through this voiceover, but that's what I meant. And I'm sure I'll get butchered on the internet for saying it wrong. Anyway, we're going to add recovery in there, and we're going to use a zone 1 heart rate value, or probably low in zone 2 actually, to keep me on track. And so when I go on a recovery run, I want to make sure that I'm not overdoing it, just get my legs moving, so that I am adequately recovering during this segment of my training. And that's what we're doing here. So I even put the abbreviation. So in this case, we don't really need a warm up or cool down because the whole thing is like mellow. So we're just going to keep one step in there, set it run, target a heart rate zone, we're going to put it in zone 2. And this is going to be like the low end of zone 2. You know, I thought a lot about this, like, do I go to zone 1? No, that's a little too hard for me, especially if I'm trying to, like, even walking up a hill, I might go into zone 2. So you got to tailor this to your needs, but these are mine. So we'll enter that information in here. In notes, I think it's going to be helpful to note that, like, I need to stay on the low end, because on the Garmin Phoenix, it will show a gauge for your heart rate on one of the data screens, and I want to be on the low end of this heart rate zone. We'll go ahead and click done and send it to the device. So that's it. That's how you add workouts in Garmin Connect from a training book. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. We'll see you around.